Welcome to Mitya. In this video, we're going to recreate an animation from Flickr's iOS app, and this is what the animation looks like. So you'll see that we have two animations happening in here. First, we have one animation when we're going from this screen into the detailed screen, and then we have a completely different animation when you're returning from here back to the main screen. So this is what we're going to create today in Mitya. Now I've created 4 assets already, and the first image here is just a black background for the app. The second one is details screen, and the photos I've actually split them up into 2 images because we want to animate them separately. So let's select all of that and bring that into Mitya. And Mitya will ask you how you want to import the images. So I'm just going to add everything to a new blank screen. And let's first take a duplicate of this screen, and we'll call that end screen. Okay. Now, what we want to do here is we want to take start screen, and I'll set up the images here to represent the start of the interaction. And on the end screen, we want it to represent the end of the interaction. So we're going to just rearrange the images to represent that, right? So let's get started with the start screen. I'm going to take the first image here and move it up to 129. And the next thing is, let me just hide these 2 images first. And this details image is something that shows up on the end screen. So we don't actually want it here. There are 2 things we can do. We can either delete this, or we can just set its opacity down to 0. Okay, so bring back the other 2. Right, and on the end screen, I'm going to leave this guy right in the middle because it's already centered. We'll take the rest of the photos and scale that back to about that much, and also make it fade out. Okay, so this is what the end screen looks like. Now we need to connect these 2 screens, and the way we do that in Mitya is using hotspots. So I'm going to create a hotspot from this screen onto this screen, and we also need another hotspot to go back. So let's have another hotspot that covers this back to the screen. So we have these 2 connected, and let's see what Mitya does with just that much done, right? So I'm going to run the preview, and there we have the basic animation in. Okay, so let's customize each of that a bit. First, I'm going to take the start screen and select the hotspot and click animate. Mitya will bring up a timeline tool where I can control how each of these images animate as they transition from one screen to another. So I'm going to take this image and set its transition to ease out expo so that it has a much heavier easing, and now you'll see that is much closer to what we see in the app. Okay, so we've set up the first half of our animation. Let's go back to the layout screen, and now we'll customize how it returns to this screen. So I'm going to select the next hotspot, click animate, and bring up the timeline tool again. So now to return, we're going to do a bunch of things here. Actually, I've gone ahead and measured the timings from the Flickr's iOS app. So I'm just going to enter those values step by step. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is going to take the details and the photos, take the opacity, transitions, and bring them way down because we want it to be pretty much instantaneous. Okay. Next, I'm going to take approximately that much, and we'll move the scaling to this because we don't want the scaling to happen until about there. So we'll do that, and then we'll take this guy here and let's rotate him to 40 degrees, and we'll also offset him a little bit. Okay, and then say about so much. We'll reset all of that. We'll bring it back to 0. We'll also set the X to 0. So it comes back to the original position. And let's have the scale animation match this timing. Okay. Now let's preview this. And we're done. So that's how you can set up 2 different animations for your interactions in Mitya. I'm going to continue posting more demos from other apps through the week. Hope you enjoyed this demo. Thanks for watching, guys.